Mhm. I would highly recommend this book.
Kiss,
Kiss
the book.
is an excellent book and an excellent band. The end.
The end.
Here, see if you can salt my beer from there.
Ooh, with the bug zapper?
Yeah.
That's a good idea.
Yeah,
that
I
was
was
like
salting my iced tea. Yeah, so
All right.
are we ready?
We're just about ready here. We got another half a minute or so.
Okay.
We have to give Ike and Dylan the
that's
full
right, yeah.
amount of time before, and we have to let everyone,
Before we cut them off.
People are going to be, okay, here we go. Hey, everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching our Thursday. Someone's calling me. I'm sorry. I can't answer a phone during like the second a live stream starts. It's Ike probably too.
Go ahead.
Hey, go ahead.
Yeah.
Hey, everybody, this is Matt, and we're at Texas Toast Guitars. Thanks for watching. This is our Thursday primetime guitar. Stop calling. I'm sorry if I'm not answering the phone. Is that you guys? Okay. Is it you, Brandon, sending me a fart message? Okay. So this is our Thursday primetime guitar that we do in conjunction with Flipside Music, the great American guitar store, and Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone, and his lovely wife, Leslie. But to my left, your right is Chris, and to his right, your left is me. Chris, how in the world are you, sir?
I'm good. But as you know, I've had jury duty.
That's right, for 3 days.
Yep. Until today. So
tell us about
today feels like Monday.
Can you even talk about the thing?
It really wasn't that big of a deal.
Okay.
So yeah.
Somebody got like murdered and stuffed down a well or something.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
Okay. Well.
Yeah. And then
yeah, no big deal. No, it was kind of a big thing.
Yeah, yeah. But anyway, jury duty. I didn't even think I was shocked that I even had to go in.
Okay.
Usually I don't.
Well, I don't know if you
before.
recollect, but like last month I had jury duty, and I called and they're like, "Yeah, you don't have to go in."
Yeah,
so,
yeah, it was from 0 to 550. Yeah, come in.
Come
the rest
on
of you
in.
Don't. And I'm like, I'm 406.
Oh man,
that means I have to go in.
Yeah.
And then I thought, and they're like, most of you will be out of here by 8:30.
Not you though, Chris.
Yeah, not me. For 3 days. But anyway.
So yeah, that's right. You had jury duty. We both had COVID. It's been a nutty couple of weeks. Well, not a couple of weeks, but
it feels like the whole month. I mean, because the beginning of the month.
I was in quarantine, and then immediately after you were,
I was a little bit, and then whatever, and the next thing you know, I've worked like not as much as I wanted to.
But there are yellow guitars all over the shop. Would you attest to that, you guys, that there are yellow guitars in various stages of, like that one over there, that's got a nut on it. There's some over here with strings on it. They're
from
all
finished to almost finished.
Yeah. So I am very pleased to announce that we will start shipping the TV Yellow Challenger Juniors very, very, very soon.
Oh, we're not going to reveal each and every one.
No, I think that seems silly, don't you? Like here's another one.
16. Here's another yellow one.
Yeah, but it's pretty neat to see them.
It is actually pretty neat to see a row of.
They're all over the place.
Film pink one right in the middle.
That's Bobby Dale's, though.
I know.
Yeah.
There's
a black one, and that's for Gary. And there's a couple of creamy peanut butter, creamies. And are there any other color? No. So there's a buttload of TV yellows, handful of creams, and a pink. A real buttload.
Yep. Yeah.
So
most of them are TV yellow.
Yeah.
So I was counting, and because in some ways it doesn't seem like there's as many as there are. But I counted them, and they're all accounted for.
Oh yeah.
And,
yeah. They're all here.
Like they're everywhere. So
I hope that you guys were watching Ike and the guys at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store. their live stream at 4. Ike actually stopped by the shop and prevented us from doing a bunch of work for about 3 or 4 hours. And he hung around for about an hour, which was good.
I worked the whole time.
You
I
did.
don't know if you noticed that.
Which was good though, because I need a bunch of cases because we've got guitars that need to go out, and Ike has been gone for a wedding for the last 2 weeks. I guess Italian weddings last a long, long time. And
2.5 weeks.
Yeah. And
you get hitched in New York if you're Italian.
Oh, sure. It's a big deal.
Okay. So
anyhow, he just got back. And so he came by the shop. It was good because I need to get cases going. And so we saw Ike today. So I hope you were watching him on his channel. I kind of lost track of time because I was believe it or not, I was in the paint booth. And there are some things that I want to talk about. Did Ike have a guitar? We were like, hey, Ike, you should drag out a guitar or something and show it off, like Ike's faves or what's new and cool in the shop or something. So I hope that he did that because I thought it was a great idea. And Ike seemed to think it was a decent idea too. So
you want to see the biggest? And by you, I mean the people out there.
No,
the biggest bullshit deal
of
the entire week.
Okay.
I went to the dollar store and bought boxes of Spree for Matt and I because we enjoyed some Sprees last week. And they usually come in how many different colors?
A bunch.
5.
Look at all the purples, and there's orange. There's 2 oranges.
This is a better box than the other.
Here,
box.
empty that one out too, on top of it. Just pile them all up there like poker style. It's some of the, yeah.
Oh, maybe.
There you go. A buttload of green and yellows. So anyway,
I'm
where's
surprised there's as many. There's not a single red one in that box.
Where's the other one? Did you eat them all?
No, it's the same.
Oh,
box.
grab that one. Yeah, Brandon, grab that one.
I just told everybody I only bought 2 boxes, and now you're showing up that I bought 3 boxes.
Well, you buy a lot of candy.
There's hardly any left, but.
All right,
this
so
looks
now
like a bad bag of lima beans. I'll be honest with you.
I want you to eat all them candies before we're done.
Before
tonight.
6.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
And go. So Chris, we have a couple things to talk about tonight. Specifically, what is better, the Telecaster or the Stratocaster? A battle royale. What is better? Some people have been like, well, you spelled Les Paul wrong. No. This is desert island stuff. Okay. But I want to talk about a couple of things.
We're not talking about the greatest guitar of all time. We're talking about 2 specific guitars, which is better.
I think so. What is this one? Is this one called? What is it called? Can you see what it's?
And look at this can, man. I mean, they've really upped it.
It's all green.
Yeah.
Because is that a mold one?
Yeah, this was the
Telecaster versus. Oh, which one is the best guitar of all time? So we really are saying which one is the best. Okay.
I think you're just saying which is the best of those 2.
Nope. I'm saying what's the best guitar ever built in the history of mankind.
Oh, neither one of those.
All right. Well, you have to pick between those 2, buddy. Okay.
then it's just between those 2. You just proved my point.
All right. You can tell the difference too. Grape tastes like grapey purple.
Exactly. That's what I mean. I mean, this is bullshit.
Yeah.
I want all the flavors except orange. I don't like the orange ones.
I like them.
Yeah. I was going to give them all to you.
It'd have been hilarious if they were all orange. Okay. Anyway, but I got a couple of, well, of course, we're going to attempt to take your questions too while we're doing this thing where Chris is eating a big pile of candy.
I'm not eating anymore. Frankly, I ate too many today. Even as much BS as this is, I still ate way too many.
We've been getting this question a lot lately after my last video where I'm making the guitar for Cesar Rosas about scarf joints. Hey, Matt, why do you not like scarf? Are you leaving now or what?
No, I'm listening.
Where are you going? What are you doing?
And I'm uncomfortable with all this candy right here.
Now it's going to taste like candy and dirt.
Well,
and your hand. So anyway, we've been getting a bunch of questions about why don't you like scarf joints, Matt? And the fact, all right, I'm just gonna wait until you're done here because clearly, if you felt good enough to dump them out all over the table.
Keep going.
No.
Keep going.
I think it's more fun for everyone to watch you move
I'm
candy.
sure it's more fun for everybody to watch me move candy.
Everybody,
You're the one that didn't want to taste my fingers.
That's true. How many mice do you think are going to get in this candy tonight?
None.
All the mice?
No. All right, that's good enough.
You feel good about that?
Yeah, here, watch. Slide this up there into the dust and done.
And done. So people have been asking me a lot about scarf joints this week.
Yeah.
And I thought before we get into the what's the best guitar of all time, here are your two choices.
Yeah.
I want to talk about scarf joints and why we don't use them. And the fact of the matter is that I like scarf joints just fine. Have you ever built a guitar with a scarf joint?
No.
Way back in the old days, I used them all the time. And the reason that I used them was to save lumber. And what we discovered was
that's exclusively what it's for. You can talk about grain orientation and all that stuff.
You can do
really
that, but yeah,
at
the end of the day, it's all about saving wood.
Yeah. Which is also fun.
And so we used to use them a lot. We had a couple different kinds. We had a special jig made that would like cut them and file them down and they'd be perfect every time. And it was okay. It's a lot of work though. Mm-hmm. It's way more work than cutting it out of one piece. The other thing is once we decided that we don't like that very, very steep 14 or even 17 degree headstock angle, well, there's really no reason to do a scarf joint at that point because the joint goes way under the fretboard unless you attach it at the headstock, which would be you could kind of just glue two blocks together and do it at that point. Because if you use a 7 degree headstock angle, it's not a big deal to just start with 8-quarter lumber. If you can get vertically oriented or even quarter sawn, there's a big difference. If you can get vertically oriented lumber in 8-quarter, then you're not wasting that much wood.
Right.
In fact, are any of those net cutoffs in the wood pile, Brandon? There's like a super thin hunk. It's like about 5/8 thick and about this long, and that's all that you waste. So yeah, you waste less, or you waste less by a fair margin when you're doing a Gibson style neck out of a single piece of wood, and more than if you're doing a Fender style, because the only wood waste you have is that headstock scoop. But that's the reason that we don't use the scarf joint, is because we don't really go with that really steep headstock angle. So, do you have anything you want to add to that, Chris?
No.
Okay. All right. Are there any questions that we need to get to before we? I don't think so, guys.
I do not like the way a scarf joint looks.
Okay.
Usually.
So you do have something to add.
Yeah, that's it.
Well, let's expound on that, sir. We have 45 minutes to talk about Tellys versus Strat.
Right.
Let's, yeah.
All right. Well, and one of the funny things is, you're not allowed to make a body out of a bunch of pieces of wood.
Oh, that's
you
right.
are allowed to make a neck out of a bunch of pieces of wood. And why aren't you allowed to make bodies out of a lot of pieces of wood?
Tone.
Glue.
Yeah.
Too much glue. So
that's
what do you do?
Right.
You
I forgot all about
with a bunch more glue.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
The thing that probably, if you could actually attribute tonal characteristics to wood in an electric guitar, you would think that the neck would be way more susceptible to what kind of wood you use.
Yeah. And it's okay to make a neck out of one piece of wood. It's okay to make it out of a bunch of pieces of wood lined up.
Yeah.
This way. I don't know. But it's not okay to make bodies that way until that's what you meant to do.
Until there's
a bunch of different pieces of wood.
Feature, yeah.
And then glue doesn't count for anything. Those pieces of wood probably grew together that way.
That's how they do it.
So no matter what group you're trying to appease, there's another group that's going.
It says
that's bullshit.
That's
you
hogwash.
Can't do it that way. Yeah,
Chris, I really don't like it when you curse.
I know. Yeah, I take 2 pieces of wood. I'm not. I can't see. I can't appease either side. Earlier I said BS. You didn't say anything. Usually you go, come on, Chris, you can curse. It's our show. And this time I said bullshit, and then I get in trouble for it.
You said bullshit from the beginning of today's show, though.
I did say it, and then I said BS.
Oh, did you? Okay.
Yeah. But So if you're using if you're ripping the same piece of wood and then flipping them and gluing them together, 100% good.
Jam on.
Yeah. If you're pancaking bodies,
Yep.
which isn't really much different.
Horse shit.
Yeah, what the hell are you
Yeah,
doing?
you just wrecked it.
You're a jerk. Yeah. You can't afford all the wood?
Don't be
take
poor.
A bunch of thin strips and make a maple walnut, ash, maple ash body. Oh man, it's so rad.
I honestly do not know how like the Squire factory is able to inexpensively produce a guitar that's a boatload of things glued up and then veneered on both sides.
Yeah.
I have no idea how that's economical. If time is worth anything. That's how. Time has no value.
Well, and I think they're set up to do that.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and
okay.
I've even seen videos, and you've seen the same videos of the glue racks at like Gibson.
Yeah.
And you can just throw a bunch of wood in there.
It's pretty neat actually to see the
clamp
glue
it up.
racks. Yeah.
It's neat. It's how long does it take you to spread glue with
an automatic glue spreading machine?
Glue thing, yeah. No time at all. So there you go. Yeah.
So anyway, all right. So guys, if you have any questions, we will try to get to them. If you have any super chats, we will definitely get to them. We will try to definitely get to them. And but you know what everyone's saying right now, Chris? Hey, shut up and get to the part about the Telecaster versus the Strat.
Oh.
So I think that this is a great thing for us to talk about as manufacturers, not as like, well, I like the Tele because I like the sound of the no. Okay. For you and I, that has very little allure. What I think appeals to you and I, and correct me if I'm wrong, is how easy they are to do.
Okay.
So what we're going to talk about is the differences between Teles and Strats and why one is clearly superior to the other. But I would like for you to talk a little bit, Chris, because you have a great handle on this, about why did they stop doing that heel? Why did they only use that plate on that one thing? But before we do, let's take a super chat from ER Webster, who writes, I think I solved my solvent pop issue. I have started letting the mixed clear set for 15 minutes between coats, doing a test right now to confirm. Thoughts?
Let it sit 15 minutes.
I would just mix
it?
the clear per the instructions on the can and then go. I wouldn't, yeah.
I don't know.
But well,
Solvent pop
Eric
is a thing, man.
I hope that you get your solvent pop issue down. One of these, I'm going to get a surprise in 30 minutes. Hope I don't start tripping. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. 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 I soaked one of them in, LSD 25.
All right. So let's talk a little bit about some of the things that, like heels and plates and stuff like that.
Okay. What parts do you want to talk about?
Well, so some things are universal across the board from fender to fender.
Yeah.
Stuff like neck plates are pretty much the same neck plate, whether you get a P bass or a Jazzmaster.
Yeah.
Some scales, however, don't translate. Some scales guitars go from 25 and a half, 24 on one manufacturer. Why do they do that? I don't know. Yeah. There's some other blatant ones though that really stand out. Stuff that they did on the Strat or stuff they did on the Tele that they don't do on any other guitar.
Yeah.
And then there's stuff that they did on the Strat that was supposed to be like, this is supposed to be the new hotness. Why is it that? Yeah. So ready, go.
So which part? Let's talk about. It was supposed to be an all new guitar, right?
Oh yeah.
Not an advancement of the Tele. It wasn't a Tele with a trem.
Tele 2.
Yeah, Tele 2.
Escape from Skull Island.
Yeah.
Okay. So the Tele is correct me if I'm wrong, the only guitar from Fender, to the best of your knowledge, with a square heel.
Correct.
Okay.
Yes. And they kept that, which is one of the weird things. If this new rounded heel was such an improvement, why didn't they retrofit the Tele?
Yeah.
But they didn't retrofit the Tele with anything. The Tele stayed the same from.
They could have done that.
51,
especially with the little hangover thing.
little hangover.
Will
thing.
you guys hand me one of them necks over yonder?
Oh, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, the square.
Yeah. So thank you, Brandon. So this neck here, as you can see, has a little extra piece here. It doesn't really matter what the heel looks like.
Yeah.
It's going to look like the extra piece on the top.
Yeah.
So why didn't they standardize the heel?
I don't know. Maybe that was a good way for them to be able to tell what type of neck it was. I have no idea. Maybe they just thought. Apparently, Leo Fender thought that the Stratocaster would eventually replace the Telecaster, and they would really just have one model of guitar. Because you got to realize the Stratocaster came out 3 years after.
Telly was 52 and the Strat was 54, 51.
51 was the Telly, really. I mean, there's some
no caster. Yeah.
Some dated 50 stuff.
Okay.
But anyway, 4 years, that's hardly any time at all.
It goes by fast,
It
as
does
you and
go
I
by
both
fast.
know.
Yeah. So yeah. But so I think they just sort of left that one alone, and then I'm not quite sure why they didn't change stuff up on it, because really, I mean, little things like single ply pick guards to 3-ply pick guards, dumb stuff like that. But it was basically the same guitar from then until
So
60s.
I guess what I'm driving at is if the Strat was so awesome,
Mm-hmm.
like you said, why didn't they update the Telly heel?
I don't know.
Of course, if the Telly was so awesome, how come they didn't use that jack cup on everything?
Yeah. Uh-huh.
But if the Strat was so awesome, how come they use that jack on everything?
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, I need to get another beverage. Drake, will you beer me ASAP? There's one on the bottom of the door there, Senor.
Would you give me one of these while you're there?
Wow. So anyhows, so why do you suppose they did that, Chris? Like if the neck plate was the same
Mm-hmm.
and the tuners were the same.
Uh-huh.
Thank you, Drake.
Thank you.
Like,
ooh, we saw a hand.
Why didn't they keep some of that other stuff? Why didn't they keep the heel standard? Why didn't they make the headstock standard? Why didn't they?
Yeah, and that's one of the weird things is so they did the Strat heel, and then that was the heel from then on. Everything has that heel.
So the Jazzmaster, the Jag,
the Music Master,
okay, yeah.
Duosonic, everything's got that rounded heel.
Yeah, except the Telly, they'd never retrofitted it, and I don't know why
until they started doing like Telly.
Oh,
deluxes, there was some big headstock.
You're right,
but that stuff was in the late 60s after CBS. But even it's just, I don't know why.
But to this day, some 70 years later, you can still get the old school stuff. Even like the regular Telly, not the vintage old stock or whatever it is, custom. But you can just get a Telly and it's got that heel. So okay,
the Squire stuff, the Affinity stuff has a square heel.
Yeah. Okay.
I don't know. I don't understand it. Maybe they thought it just looked wrong on that guitar. That guitar is very, very square and linear.
How about this?
From one end to the other.
One thing that you and I have noticed is that when you put a very small round over, like the 3/16 or quarter, whatever it is on a Telecaster, it makes the outline appear very different than if you put a 1/2 inch round over or 7/16 round over.
Yes.
So why do you suppose, or how many other Fenders had the very just break the edge off round over?
I think some of the
51
early,
P-Bass.
That I think some of the early kind of Music Masters and Duosonics all had bigger roundovers too. I think as soon as that whole idea of the guitar needs to be more comfortable to your body, even if it didn't have forearm contours and belly cuts, that roundover helped some of that.
Yeah.
So I think the other thing is Telly's just kept selling. The idea was, the Strat's going to take over.
Yeah.
Telly's just kept being a thing. So I think they just said, well, if it's not broken, let's not mess with it.
Who's your favorite Stratocaster player of all time? And why is it Buddy Holly?
Oh, well, so the funny thing is I know way more Stratocaster players than I do Telecaster players.
Sure.
As far as the people that I like or that I really look up to. I don't know. The Stratocaster was I think when you look up the words electric guitar, there's a Stratocaster.
If
in the
there was such
picture,
a thing
right?
as an
Yeah.
encyclopedia anymore, it would definitely be there.
Yeah, and I mean it's a neat looking guitar. It's I think my favorite guitar to look at. Strats are just cool looking.
Let's take a super chat from Timothy Potter, who says, I personally like your nonlinear BS before your real topic. Keep it going. Well, sir, we will go way off the beaten path, even when we're on the
Sometimes
actual
we don't
thing.
even talk about the thing.
It's right.
Yeah, we've done that before too.
Hey, let me ask you, how come Gary Busey had a CBS Strat in the Buddy Holly story that took place in the 50s?
And a rosewood neck Tele, and he had a Fender Bronco in the first scenes. That guitar didn't come out until like '68.
Here's something.
I don't know, because people didn't used to think that mattered, or
Yeah.
You know, you're making. I mean, shit. They lied about everything else. Why not give them the wrong instruments too?
You know so much about Buddy Holly. We were talking about because we're building a guitar for one of the guys from Los Lobos. We were talking about the La Bamba movie, and you're like Marshall Crenshaw did a good job of of the Buddy Holly character, but he played a song in that movie that was never played live, and I'm like, how do you possibly know that? And you knew.
So people, you know, like, have you ever had a fan like write down your set list that you played?
I think that would mean I would have to have fans. So no.
Okay,
Actually,
well,
John, you know what though?
John Kuntz.
John used to get our set list.
And people have done that since the dawn of time.
Yeah.
And
but you knew that Crying, Waiting, Hoping was never played live because
it was never a single. It was never it was the only versions of that up until he died was the Apartment tape that he made with an acoustic guitar.
And then they put other
added
instruments
a bunch
over
of stuff to it. Yeah, they did that twice. Yeah.
Okay.
And so
it's a good song.
It's a cool song. Oh yeah, it's a great song. Yeah, Peggy Sue Got Married is the same deal. Yeah.
Okay.
There's a bunch of Apartment tape songs that are really neat.
Cool.
And then they added stuff to it to try and capitalize on, you know, the fading glory of Buddy Holly there at the end. If you don't have stuff that he previously recorded, well, or that was meant to be put out there, then we're going to doctor up this other stuff. So yeah, cool.
Let's take a quick super chat from SS, who writes, nonlinear BS is always the first thing I search for on Pornhub. Listen, what a man and a woman and another woman with a penis and a donkey and 3 midgets want to do in their privacy of their own home is nothing. It's none of my business.
On a live cam.
I don't, whatever you want to do, have a good time.
Yeah.
So, okay.
Yeah.
How's that for nonlinear BS? Hey, Sean Emenheiser, which I mispronounced again. Sean Emenheiser. Sean, your guitar is all boxed up. There's a check for $1,300 in it. In fact, I wonder if I can let's see if I can show that picture, because I think that would be a good picture for you guys to see.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can see it, but there's a copy of Sean's check right there. It's in his case. You can't see it. I get it. I'm sorry. It's in the case and it's all boxed up. And our UPS guy hasn't come by.
Yeah, I got here today and I was like, this is still here?
I know.
Yeah. If not, we'll get it to you.
So, yeah. Okay. So, Sean, we haven't forgotten about you, but Steve, the UPS man, has.
Yeah.
So, anyway. So, let's get back to our original topic. Donkeys and transgender. No. The Fender versus the Fender versus Fender, Spy versus Spy.
Strat versus Tele.
Okay, ready? Go.
I don't know what you want me to say.
So
we were talking about the differences in construction and just stuff like that, right?
What about
not even construction, just time that it takes to make one or the other?
How about stuff that people might not think about, like how long does it take to buff something that's got a 1/2 inch round over versus a 1/4 inch round over?
Or how
And
much more time does it take to sand that thing
yeah,
over and over and over again?
what do you
Throughout
mean?
all the steps. Well,
Okay.
I mean, so you got to sand it when it's raw wood,
Mhm.
get it ready for sealer, and then you have to sand it when it's in sealer, and then you have to sand it after you paint it.
What if you use
it.
nitro?
Then you have to. Then there's even more because you're probably gonna fuck it up once or twice.
You ever had one of those nitrocellulose coffees?
Yes.
Are they good?
Yeah.
They wake you up, huh?
Yeah.
Okay. Nitro cold brew.
Right. Yeah.
That's yeah. Okay. So yeah, no actual nitrocellulose.
I believe
in it.
that's a different kind of nitro.
There's so much, but people use nitro like it's
Uh-huh.
it's the one. All you have to say is nitro, and everyone knows what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
It doesn't matter if you're talking about guitars or coffee; it's the same thing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah. I only like my beers to be on nitro.
Nitro.
Yeah.
I like Monday Nitro.
It's a smoother. It's
with
a
the
smoother,
Rock
It's a smoother.
and Goldberg or whoever it was.
Goldberger.
I don't know.
I like that show.
Sure, Goldberger.
The Goldbergers.
All right, Monday Nitro. Ready? Here we go. I think I got the one that has the LSD in it. No, I don't. I didn't get that. I probably can't say that.
LSD.
No, that we're dropping.
First of all, we're not.
No. Do
Yeah.
you drop LSD? I don't know what you do with. I'm like so out of that.
I
Yeah.
think you snort it.
How do you snort?
Snort. Yeah. No, you crush it up and then you
Oh,
snort it.
Okay. Yeah, I don't know. It's been a while since Miami
Like a
Vice was on
Smartie.
TV. Yeah, okay.
Yeah. This dude I know snorted 3 Smarties in a row.
I heard Steve-O snorted a beer or two, like in a beer bong, and
A
then he put it up
beer?
his butt. In the butt chuck. Anyway.
Yeah, we're not saying anything that Steve-O hasn't
No,
done.
no.
So,
Including the LSD
and
stuff.
the Telly stuff.
Yeah. So the Strat I think the Strat is much easier to buff. I really do.
Well, then I'll let you buff some.
Well, okay.
No, I think big flat things are way easier to buff.
Do you?
Yeah.
Okay. I think that the Telly is way easier to do from a woodworking perspective.
I think everything about a Strat is a little bit more difficult. So
how about assembly, Strat versus Telly?
Tellys almost assemble themselves.
What do you mean?
Because
like
of all
the
of
elves
those,
come in and do it?
No, because of all the from the neck pocket to the bridge, everything's square. So you can just sort of measure and just everything just sort of lines up from one end to the other.
Well, then, so that begs the question though, why is this the only neck that has that square heel in the entire? Was there ever a bass that had that squared off heel? I mean,
I don't think so. Okay. I don't know that much about the early basses. So
yeah, I don't either.
They had a round heel. I kind of wonder if it isn't like an adjustment thing, you know, that move where you adjust the string balance side to side by slightly tweaking the neck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Jeffrey Egan writes 3 pickups, 5-way switch, double cut, Strat, FTW
for the win. Yes.
Or
look up when the 5-way switch became available.
Okay.
74, I think.
Okay.
Was the first time that a 5-way
does it really work to kind of like position it right in between?
Jam it in between if you're lucky. Yeah, there was.
So it wasn't like super. You couldn't just do it on the fly necessarily.
No, there were people that would. Well, I think some switches probably work better than others. But I know I've read of people in the late 50s, early 60s knowing that was a trick. So I can't imagine that there weren't people that figured that out even earlier than that. And figured out how to.
Yeah, you hear about like Hendrix did it and Well, yeah. How many times though did it get flicked off and just was one pickup?
Dick Dale actually was one of the first guys that had and claims that he helped make the 5-way switch and that was something that he wanted early on.
I can't imagine that
switch added to
that Dick Dale.
Some of that stuff.
He didn't like help him with the Showman and a bunch of other stuff.
Because he was there and But anyway,
what else? What do you think? What do you think Dick Dale's most significant contribution to the Fender company is
loud amps.
Hoorah!
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I think that was it.
Cool.
So and maybe the reverb tank that was pretty neat.
Yeah,
but there were other companies that had reverb before that. So
okay,
but What were we talking about?
Well, we were talking about like the little bits
five-way
of
switches.
Yeah.
Yeah. Leo Fender didn't like that in between thing.
So, okay, so here's a question for you. How many Tellys do you own? How many Strats do you own? Style, you know what I mean? They could be, like
0 and 0.
So you own neither one of
I
either
don't
one.
own any of either one.
I actually still have a Strat.
Do you? Okay.
And it's one that I put together many, many years ago
Mhm.
out of just like parts. It's just like stuff thrown together.
Yeah.
But I still have it, and
Yeah.
I honestly I don't know why, because I don't
Yeah.
ever play it.
Right.
But you know what's really weird is, why don't you have a daily driver or a Sunday? Oh,
Because I sold it to Dylan.
how about this?
Or Devin.
Yeah, how many daily drivers have you made for you?
I don't know. I probably made 2 or 3 over the course of my life.
There was that mahogany neck one that you made.
Yeah, that was the one that Devin ended up with,
which was really super cool. I don't think I've ever built myself a daily driver, but I really want to. Now, I don't know why, but I really do.
Yeah.
Because like what happens is I make one for me, and then there's been a bunch of guitars that I think Devin actually has one that was, this is going to be my guitar. And he ended up buying
he has
it.
one of yours and one of mine.
It was a Challenger that I'm like, I love this guitar so much, I want it, I'm keeping it. And then he's like, can I buy it? Yeah, okay. So, but it's hard to like make something and then go, I'm keeping this, and then then Doug Santaniello goes, oh yeah, well, I'll show you. So I mean, and it's kind of funny because like you and I go, well, we could make a guitar whenever we want to. Fact is, we really can't.
Yeah.
To just go, I'm making something for me.
Right. I'm going to do that here pretty soon with a Challenger. I'm just going to throw something in the line.
I have an uncharacteristic yet very characteristic thing that I am switching my opinion, because I think that the carved top Challengers are the coolest thing ever now.
Okay.
Brandon, do you have a second? Will you grab one of the carved top Challengers in the paint booth? It hasn't been painted yet. Okay. But it's just in there. So I don't want everyone to go, oh, cool, paint booth. But I think that the carved top Challenger is going to be my new favorite thing for a little while.
Okay.
What do you I've showed you, and what do you think?
I think it's cool. I haven't, honestly, I've been so busy doing other stuff. I've seen them and I've gone, oh yeah, cool. Okay.
Yeah.
But I want to see it with a little bit of sealer on it, a little bit of paint.
So we've got two going. One is going to Vincent, and it's got P90s.
I don't know. I can't tell from here.
Yeah. And one is just gonna happen. Thank you, sir. Mm-hmm. So it's got a big hook on it, which I think is my favorite feature. But so this, I mean, it's a very subtle carve. And I really, really, I think about the hook and the blue painter's tape is going to throw everybody off. But I think once it gets color, so this one will be available for sale. Mm-hmm. I think. So what should we do? Just paint it black?
Yeah, great idea. Yeah.
No, we should probably do like a cool super neat burst or something.
I think we should do that tequila sunrise from yellow to red.
Oh, it's got to be blue like a pool, though.
Yeah. Yuck.
So the more I look at these, the more I really like the Challenger carved top. And if you guys have watched for any amount of time, you'll remember I've said stuff like, or you've been like, how come you don't make carved tops? And I'm like, I don't want to make a carved top. And I balked and whined and belly ached. And we built one for Tony. Mm-hmm. We built a couple for some other people. And then Vincent was like, hey, how come you don't make one? I'm like, well, we do. And he's like, okay, well, shut up and take my money. Mm-hmm. So we did. And we've got one going for him. And I kind of wanted to do another one. And I just really wanted to get a carve that I like. And I finally did. Mm-hmm. And these are all done. All these are done by hand. And yeah. So anyway. So Challenger carved top. Yay or nay, Chris?
I like it.
Okay, good. What would you think about a carved top only class? We've talked about this in the past. And I think
about it the other day.
And I think you and I are like this close to getting arrested at the strip bar later tonight. But no, this close to have what? we're this close to offering a carved top guitar class.
Mm-hmm.
And I think that it's going to be not build a counterfeit Les Paul, but is close to that. And you want to add a paint component.
Uh-huh.
How do you want to do that?
Well, I think it would be cool if you could leave here after 5 or 6 or 6.5 days with a pretty much completed guitar.
Like ready to assemble?
Yeah, like ready to assemble.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Versus ready to finish. So.
Okay. Oh, so it would have to be how many more days?
So we're still kind of working that out, right?
Yeah.
We're thinking a day and a half.
Have you thought about this?
A little bit.
Okay.
Yeah. I think what we need to do is sit down and go, okay, what can we do each day? What can we get completed?
We're basically going to take our standard woodworking workshop and add a paint component to it. And I think
a carved top and all this.
And
stuff,
a carved top. Yeah.
Uh-huh.
But it's the natural progression. I think everybody wants to do that. There's another very super cool class that we're doing. And the first one is September. And spaces are getting filled for the Build the Batfish guitar with Dylan. Now, it is Dylan has spec'd all the stuff for the body. We've got a neck coming from Steve. You get to come and build the guitar. It's really cool. The neck is like roasted maple and wangy, and it's got like, you'll show up and you won't have to buy anything. All the stuff is going to be ready for you. You get to wind pickups. You get to walk in on Monday with nothing but bikini briefs and $1 million smile. And on Friday, you walk out with a 3-piece suit and this cool guitar. All right, the clothing thing was completely made up, but you walk in with no guitar. Well, I'm kind of surprised you didn't think that was even a little bit funny.
Keep going.
You walk in with no guitar on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
You walk out on Friday with a really cool, unique instrument.
Mm-hmm.
And you get to learn a lot of neat stuff. And you get to hang out with some really cool people like Chris. I mean, I'll be there too, but like Chris and Brandon will be there. And
better people than us.
No one's better than you. Chris, you're the best in the world.
Thanks, man.
You're the greatest man in the world. But so Chris will be here, Dylan will be here, Brandon might still be here.
Mm-hmm. Matt will be here.
I'll be here. Yeah. Ike from Flipside will be, and like every single time we do one of these workshops, there's a bunch of cool bitchin' people who come and hang out with us and build guitars with us, and it's really fun. That's why we call it the Brotherhood of Guitar Building, because that's what it is.
Yeah.
So it's written on all the necks too.
Yep. So. And if you come and you don't make a friend that you bounce back and forth on social media, or
we would be surprised.
I would be surprised.
Yeah, I would too.
So yeah.
So the first one of those is coming up in September. If that's a little too much for you, we've got the Build a Classic Fender kind of workshop. That's we've got spaces. I think we have spaces in December. By the way, Tony's coming out for that one. We've got some spaces. Tony Lopes. We've got spaces for December. I want to say we have some spaces for July. I can't. There's one that's before that.
October. Are we doing one in
July?
September?
I don't know. I don't know. I like those green sprees.
Yeah. Have another yellow.
Ooh, that'd make bitchin' inlay, wouldn't it?
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. All right. So have we reached a consensus on anything yet this week?
No, we haven't reached a consensus on anything.
Hey, let's take a question.
Talked a lot about Stratocasters and Telecasters.
I think we have. Let's take a question from Cecil, who asks, why don't companies that aren't classical guitars offer a flat non-radius fingerboard option? Is this mostly due to tradition? That, sir, is a great question. We did a video many years ago about compound radius and what the actual differences are between 10-inch radius at the nut or first fret and 16-inch radius at the 22nd fret or
Yeah.
whatever it was. And we said, you know, if bending strings is that critical to you, no radius is the obvious choice.
Yeah, there's and the radius thing seems to end at like 20-inch radius, right? I mean, is somebody making a 26?
I think maybe Ibanez might make a 20-inch radius or something.
Well,
but yeah, why not?
But that's what
dead
I mean is,
flat?
So why not take that to the nth degree? The literally as far as you can take it.
Here's why, Chris. Because according to Warmoth, it's impossible to play chords on a flat fretboard. Mm-hmm. Just ask every classical guitar player. Mm-hmm. They simply cannot play chords at all.
Yep.
Right? No, that's obviously wrong. So Chris and I actually did this. We made a guitar with an infinity radius. By the way, that name is trademarked. Infinity radius. Yeah, trademarked Texas Toast Guitars. Mm-hmm. It was dead flat. And we made the whole guitar and we gave it to a number of people. Mm-hmm. And they played it and we're like, so what do you think of that guitar? And they said, well, how did it go down?
Well, so it was, it was a Telecaster, or it was a Stratocaster.
It was a
shaped Telecaster is what it was.
Yeah.
So fairly ordinary guitar. No, I think it was just a Telecaster. But anyway, they'd play it and they'd sit there and play it and play it and play it. And they'd pick out the dumbest stuff. Well, is this?
Yeah, because we were like, what? Yeah, what? Can you
more?
tell them one thing?
No, keep playing. Keep playing. It's something fairly.
It's fairly obvious.
It's not cosmetic. It's something that you would that's player related, and nobody got it. Not one single person got it out of a dozen. And we had it. We actually had it here at one of the Texas Toast Days.
Chris Barchi ended up buying it.
Yeah, and he liked played it, so played it, and nobody figured it out until we told them.
Yep.
And then they said,
well, here's what happened. Mike, I'm not going to tell you who it was, but Mike Learn came over to the shop and was playing it. And I'm like, he's playing it and playing it and playing it. And he's like, yeah, this is really cool. What's the weird thing? Oh, it's got a flat fretboard. And he said, that'd probably be okay for slide. I mean, he's been playing it for 15 minutes and now all of a sudden it's relegated to slide duty. Yeah.
And like you said, if bending is a thing, I took it home. I was playing it. I wanted to see. Mm-hmm. I put my thumb on the top of the string and just kept pushing and pushing and pushing, and it never choked out. And I broke the big E string.
You're like Neil Young, aren't you?
Well, no, but I mean, it never did.
Well, no, but
do anything. Yeah, but I tore that string off that guitar.
I think it's cool.
Never choked out.
Yeah.
So, and the action was low, and obviously, I mean, where's it going to go? So
nowhere.
Yeah.
Let's take a question from Greg Lanham, who asks, recently saw a Woodworks double stick tape advertised that said the adhesive was silicone. Any thoughts? It actually scared me away since any silicone could ruin finishing processes. Another great question, sir. And Jeffrey, yes, they are wider. I don't know what's our Taylor. How about this? What I can tell you is that the tape that we use from Taylor Tool Works works great. And we have not had any issues with the adhesive dorking up the finish, whether we use it on wood or whether we use it on finish later. Mm-hmm. And we actually put it on stuff. Sometimes we'll do things we'll wait until things are in sealer before we final cut the rest of them out because we don't want to
I've never had any issue with tape leaving residue that the paint didn't deal with.
So, but that's the tape that we use. Now, if there's a silicone based double-sided or double stick or whatever you call it tape, I would be bummed out too if it had a silicone adhesive. And I would maybe
that word is, I don't know.
Yeah.
I can't imagine that somebody's making a tape that would wreck a bunch of stuff if you're not careful.
I would say too that if you're having to go out of the off the reservation so much that you're using silicone based adhesive, try this stuff from Taylor Tool Works. I don't know what the adhesive's made from, but we haven't had a single issue with it.
Yeah.
So,
And they sell
and
it
it's
in widths.
it's pretty affordable too.
It is.
Yeah. So, all right. So have we come to a consensus then on the Strat versus Telly thing?
I don't think we
haven't even
touched on it.
scratched the surface.
I think you should
really.
have one of each.
I think so too. Oh, so
And then
we did talk about though. How many of the Texas Toast style Strat guitars have you made and kept?
I think I've really only made one, and that was 3. I've made 3 Strat style guitars for me.
Oh no, I was just doing this with my fingers.
Yeah, I think I've only made one, and that guitar was no, the one that I'm talking about was an early days challenge to see how fast.
Was that the one? Okay,
Mm-hmm.
all right.
Because we were talking about, well, how long do you think it would take you to make a Telecaster from pretty much start to finish? And so, well, I don't know, but I don't really need a Telecaster, but I do kind of want to make a Strat, so I did a Strat.
Yeah.
And yeah.
All right.
And it's now floating around out there.
So at the end of the day, I think that I like Tellys more than Strats,
Mm-hmm.
but I don't have any. I do have a Strat.
Okay.
I think that if I was going to build myself a guitar that was between those two, I would build a Telly first. I'd only put one pickup, so I guess I'd build an Esquire.
Yeah.
I can tell you that I would use this neck right here.
Okay.
Or maybe I'd use one of the short scale ones.
Yeah.
And I would put, I know exactly what I would make, and it would be the Matt Special, and maybe we'll do a limited run of Matt Special daily drivers.
Okay.
It would have, oh, dude, and it would have this pickup in it. Yeah, a split coil Dylan. It's not a Bucker, but it's
a T90.
It's a T90, and it's a split coil, and it's a monster. And he's like, I don't ever want to make another one of these again. I'm like, sounds perfect.
I think
that's what I want.
One.
Did he?
I think he did, because I think there was some talk of he was talking about something like that.
I want something that, like, when you plug it in, Les Paul guys run screaming to the mama.
Yeah.
And it would be just this pickup and a big slab and maybe 24 3/4 scale bolt on neck.
Okay.
With a powered by Coors sticker on it, because it looks a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So anyway, I think that's exactly what I would do. If you guys are interested in that, let me know. I think that would be a fun one to make.
Okay.
Like a limited run. We'll make 5 of them and that's it.
Okay.
Once they're gone, and I'm getting one of them. Yeah, right. So anyway, what do you think, Chris? If you were going to make a guitar for you,
if I was going to make a very traditional one, I would just make a Telly style guitar.
Okay.
Yeah,
would you put a forearm contour on it?
Yes, I would put a forearm contour. I would not bother putting a belly cut on it, but I do enjoy the forearm contour. If I was going to do like off the reservation, I think I would build some sort of weird hybrid lefty Strat thing with a lefty trim. I've wanted to
play
try
it
that.
righty.
But play it righty, yeah,
okay.
Yeah, because I can't play lefty. But just this weird, I kind of want to try it and see, all the reasons that Strats don't work for me. Maybe if it was upside down, it would work for me.
Yeah.
But I'm not going to do that anytime soon. So.
Yeah. Matt Special with Sprita. So I think there's some people who are into the Matt Special. I think that would be super, super cool. Some people are like, I'll take one, but I don't want the spree dots. Yeah. So we've got a few more minutes here, but I want you guys to go over to Dylan Talks Tone and check him out. He's going to be finishing up primetime guitar from Mountain Time 6 to 7, Eastern Time 8 to 9. And if he's in a different time zone for you, you have to figure that out. But
just watch right after this.
Just watch right after this. And I would like to thank all of our sponsors, including Dylan Talks Tone. I didn't put any. There's like nothing in this thing. I didn't put any stuff up. But if you If you want some Dylan pickups, you can go to the link in many of our videos, not this one because I haven't put any links up because I'm stupid. You can buy Dylan pickups and you get a little bit of a little bit of a break, and we get a little taste. I think it's 10% off, and we make a few bucks. Yeah. Not bad. I'd also like to thank Dan and Calvin at Tone Wood Experts. If you guys are looking for lumber to build your next guitar, check out Dan and Calvin. If you come to any of our classes here at Texas Toast Guitars, you will be using woods from Tone Wood Experts because we believe in it so much. If you come to one of our classes where you put the truss rod in the neck, you'll be using a truss rod from Bitterroot Guitars. In fact, I just ordered more truss rods from John and Cheryl from Bitterroot Guitars just yesterday. They're on the way, speeding their way to me. I hope I get them before the 4th. I think I will because they ship fast. I would also like to thank Chris and Dina from Odyssey Beer Works. Check it out. Have you had an Odyssey beer for a little while?
No,
a bit?
I haven't had one.
Maybe we should go over there
here
after a while.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Not today.
No.
Let's see. Who am I missing besides Ike and Dylan and the rest of the gang at Flipside Music, the great American guitar store? Guys, if you're in the Denver area, please check out the Flipside Music guys. They are the coolest dudes. They're the second coolest dudes in Denver.
Yep.
Chris is the first. Let's take a quick super chat, and then I want to remind you that every Thursday, actually, let me remind you, and then we'll take a super chat. Every Thursday from starting at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, Ike and Dylan kick off the Primetime Guitar Primetime, whatever we're calling it.
Yep.
And they're going to be bringing out
night primetime.
They're going to be bringing out all sorts of cool stuff. And then we're going to go on, and then Dylan's going to close out the night, Dylan and Leslie, and they're doing chugs for chats for chugs, something like that, where you give them $1 and they just slam bourbon. I think is how they do that. So we're going to let them, we're going to actually take off here in just a moment. And we are going to let you guys check out Dylan. If you didn't watch the guys at Flipside, please go back and watch them after the Dylan thing. If you forgot about it, mark the thing so that you know that on Thursday at 4 p.m. Mountain Time, we start this whole live guitar deal. And we would love to have you at all 3 hours worth because it is wildly, wildly fun. Just look at Chris's face. See, look at what a good time he's having. So let's take a super chat from our super cool buddy, Dave the Pious, who says, great stream, guys. Thank you, Dave. It's always good to have someone who's been to one of our classes come and hang out with us during the live stream. And I know there's a lot of guys who do. So thank you, everybody who has hung out with us. It's been super, super cool. Is there a reveal tomorrow, Chris? I don't think there is.
No, there really isn't.
We don't have anything.
We haven't gotten a lot done.
We don't have like a single thing to reveal tomorrow, but we have lots and lots of stuff.
I don't want to just start showing off yellow guitars.
Yeah, because we're going to show off all the yellow guitars, I think, when they're like ready to go.
Or at least a handful of them.
Yeah. Okay. All right, gang. So we will see you next time. Check out Dylan from Dylan Talks Tone. Say hey from the boys here at Texas Toast Guitars. We will talk to y'all soon. Have a great rest of the week, guys. And if you're not a fan of the Colorado Avalanche, your team lost. Sorry. Okay. Take care, everybody. Have a good one.